Well, good evening and happy Sunday to each and every one of you. Also, happy Mother's Day to any of the mothers that may be watching me on this evening or maybe watching. Happy Mother's Day, and I hope you had an awesome day today. Um, the reason I'm getting on here this evening is I wanted to do a part two to something that I did the week, I think it was like the week before last, and that was I was talking about when God tells you to do something and it doesn't make sense. So this evening, real quickly, I just want to get on here and do my part two. But before that, I do that, if you have not yet subscribed, please do so. I need to reach 20 more subscribers so that I can start doing YouTube live. So if you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe and like and comment. But real quickly, I wanted to again just oh, there goes the bug. I'm outside enjoying this little weather, but I wanted again to just say, when God tells you to do something and it doesn't make sense, just do it. And I say that because you don't know what's in store for you just by being obedient. And everything God tells you, it doesn't make sense. But there are some great rewards if you just do what He tells you. I remember the Lord woke me up in the middle of the night and He told me to write a book. And I literally had this conversation with the Lord. I was like, huh? What? Lord, I know you're not telling me to write a book. Me? I don't know nothing about writing no book. You're not talking to me. 2 days later, the Lord came back to me and He said, write a book. And instantly, I just began to write. And in 2016, look out, I published my first book, and He said to pray. 2016. Didn't know a thing about writing a book. Now, growing up, I did used to journal a lot. That was a part because I didn't get whoopings when I grew up when I was bad. Or I had like little incidents where, I was being hard-headed. But I had to journal. And that's because I actually had anger issues growing up as a young child. So instead of getting whoopings, I had to journal. And I had the cute little diary with the key, and you could write and lock it up. So writing kind of comes naturally to me, but writing a book was the last thing on my mind. But again, I wrote this book in 2016. And what's so amazing about this book is that it's 2025. And people are still asking me for a copy of my book. People are still purchasing my book. Little old me from Cincinnati, this little, and the book is $10. Let me see how many pages. Not many pages at all, but it's an impact, powerful book. 35 pages. Again, I wrote this in 2016. Here it is, 2025, and people are still asking me for a copy of my book. 9 years later, and I am just, every time somebody asks, and people have recently asked me for a book. I don't mean years ago. I mean recently asked me. As of last month, someone asked me for a copy of my book. People have purchased my book over again because they misplaced it. But it goes to show that when God tells you to do something, even when it makes no sense at all, go right ahead and do it. Because this is the rewards of it. I feel really blessed, and I feel really great, and I feel really privileged that people still come to me 9 years later and ask me for a copy of my book. I'm just a little old girl from Cincinnati, Ohio, But again, it kind of leaves me a little speechless, but people still ask for a copy of my book. And it all began when God told me to write a book. And I was like, Lord, I don't know nothing about writing a book. Like, what are you talking about? And this is literally how I was talking to the Lord. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. What are you talking about, Lord? You're tripping, because I don't know how to write a book. And another thing about it is, I had people that came to me and they said, I'm going to help you. You don't have to do anything. I'm going to take care of everything. Who does that? Who does that? Only thing I paid for when I published this book was the first 200 copies. Everything else, from the cover to the editing to the sending it through to get everything done to make it possible, someone else did it. And it cost me $0. The only thing I paid for was my first shipment of books. So again, I'm here to encourage you that when God, and if God tells you to do something, do it. It doesn't have to make sense to you, but trust Him. Trust His plan for you, and just do it. Today is Sunday, so I feel like, God may have been speaking to some of you already. This is a perfect opportunity for you to start your week off digging into what God has told you to do. Don't worry about if it don't make sense. Everything will fall in line. Trust me, everything will fall in line just out of your obedience. I love y'all, and I thank you for tuning in. Again, if you have not yet subscribed, please hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share with your friends. Y'all have a great week. I will be back very, very soon. Peace.